Manchester City win another trophy this season. Today, we're going to break this match down in detail. Chelsea defended in a 5-4-1 shape, and an important detail from the start was that two Chelsea center backs were responsible for Erling Haaland. Because of this, Haaland was forced to drop deeper from the opening minutes, operating between the lines, as we can see in this sequence, where he drops lower during the build-up. The Chelsea center backs didn't always step out with him, and that allowed Haaland to stay useful in the build-up, dropping deeper and receiving the ball between the lines. On top of that, there were several long passes from Manchester City players, with Marmoush playing his role very well through vertical runs and behind. Doku was also constantly ready to open up on the flank and receive the ball in depth, and this happened many times throughout the game. In the final third, it's important to immediately highlight one detail. O'Reilly occupied the half space, and he was often picked up by Chelsea's right center-back. Gueye positioned himself closer to the left side. Manchester City often formed a back line of four players, with Rodri dropping deeper between the two center-backs. Gueye controlled the tempo of the game really well from this area and consistently found opportunities to play progressive passes. Because O'Reilly drifted centrally, Chelsea no longer had a numerical advantage in these situations. It became more about 1v1 duels, and with the quality of passes from Marc Guehi, both Haaland and Marmoush looked very dangerous with their runs in behind. Overall, it was a very strong performance from Marc Guehi. A lot of line-breaking passes, and he was a key part of City's attacking structure. He constantly played passes between the lines. Another important detail was the 1v1 situation between Semenyo and Cucurella. Semenyo completely dominated that duel. Very often, Cucurella was left isolated without proper support on the flank, and Semenyo could comfortably beat him. Cucurella struggled to direct him properly, and Semenyo constantly had opportunities to cut inside, shoot, or play passes. He also repeatedly beat Cucurella on the dribble, and this continued for a very long period in the match. Chelsea clearly lacked support on that side. It's also important to mention that Nunez was constantly making overlapping and underlapping runs down the flank to receive the ball. One of those moments even led to a disallowed goal for offside. On the opposite flank, there were also overlapping runs from O'Reilly, who had several moments where he entered Chelsea's penalty area and received the ball in dangerous positions. Chelsea lacked verticality and attacking threat badly in this match. Whenever they received the ball in the final third, they very often played backwards instead of trying to attack space. There were many moments where Chelsea could have attempted a through ball, like in this situation where Caicedo could have played forward, but instead the ball went backwards. The two key players in Chelsea's progression were Colwill and Enzo Fernandez. Colwill completed a huge number of passes between the lines, started attacks, and performed at a very high level today, helping Chelsea bypass Manchester City's press. And Enzo Fernandez was constantly receiving the ball between the lines, and he was probably the only player with a real intention to play forward consistently. Again, we can see here how Chelsea attacked three different channels, yet no through ball follows into depth. Instead, the pass goes wide, and Malo Gusto, in a 1v1 situation, chooses to pass backwards. That immediately leads into a positional attack where Chelsea lose the ball. Colwill did an excellent job finding players between the lines. Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, and even Juan Pedro when he dropped deeper to receive the ball. Chelsea had a few decent counterattacks as well. Again, I think even in this moment, Enzo Fernandez did a lot to create the counterattack, and then he even provides an extra passing option for Juan Pedro, who, honestly, I have no idea why he didn't make the pass in this situation. There's absolutely no explanation for it, and Enzo Fernandez's reaction afterwards says everything. This happened repeatedly throughout the match. Chelsea would win the ball back or press Manchester City successfully, but then fail to make the right attacking decision afterward. And this happened very, very often, as I'm showing in these screenshots. Enzo could also drop deeper, trying to receive the ball in wider areas and then play a one-touch pass into depth. That's one of Enzo's biggest strengths, but Manchester City's defenders controlled those situations very well. It's also important to point out that both Enzo and Colwill, even statistically, were among the best players in this match for progressive passes and line-breaking passes. Chelsea attacked more through the right flank in this game, mostly with chip balls into depth toward Malo Gusto. Gusto constantly tried to deliver crosses from the right side, but many of them were blocked. Overall, Chelsea looked quite predictable and primitive in their attacking structures during this match. Chelsea played with 5 defenders. They were still very aggressive and willing to press Manchester City. Several pressing sequences from Chelsea almost resulted in goals. As we can see here, Chelsea press very compactly and don't allow Bernardo Silva any clear passing options. Bernardo Silva eventually loses the ball, and we get this collision between Kusanov and João Pedro inside the box. For me, that's not a penalty. It's shoulder-to-shoulder contact, and Kusanov gets to the ball first. Excellent defending from the center back. In the second half, Pep Guardiola immediately made substitutions, bringing on Ryan Cherki. The idea behind the change was to improve Manchester City's play between the lines and tight spaces, while also adding a player who is comfortable on the ball and capable of delivering the final pass. Cherki replaced Omar Marmoush and often dropped deeper to receive the ball without pressure, facing the opponent's goal. From there, he could dictate play through balls, and take on the role of the main playmaker. One of those situations eventually led to the winning goal. Cherki drops into the right-back zone. In the combination, Semenyo manages to keep possession under pressure and lays the ball off to Cherki. Cherki plays a line-breaking pass, Chelsea intercepts it, but the rebound falls kindly to Erling Haaland. Haaland protects the ball brilliantly with his back to goal, turns, plays it wide, and immediately continues his run without stopping. He offers himself in depth, while Semenyo attacks the penalty area at the same time. Haaland then delivers an excellent first-time cross, and Semenyo finishes beautifully with a back-heel goal. That goal decided the outcome of the match. Manchester City lift their second trophy of the season, while Chelsea finish the campaign with absolutely nothing. And it'll be interesting to see whether they even qualify for European competitions next season. And by the time I'm recording this video, the news has already come out that Xabi Alonso is the new Chelsea manager. And honestly, I think it's a good choice. Probably one of the best options available on the market right now. Xabi Alonso is a very strong system coach, and with a squad full of young players hungry for trophies, he could potentially recreate many of the things he achieved at Bayer Leverkusen. The things that made so many people admire his work there. It's still unclear what kind of system Xabi Alonso will use at Chelsea. Personally, I'd actually like to see him play with 3 center backs and essentially build a second version of Leverkusen, especially because Marc Cucurella would suit that role perfectly. Malo Gusto could also be a pretty solid option for that kind of setup. Another very important point is that it's the right decision for Xabi Alonso to arrive only after the end of the season. There are only 2 matches left, and this way nobody will judge him based on Chelsea's results this season. Instead, he'll be able to start building his project properly from pre-season onward, step by step. That's a very important factor. And hopefully Chelsea can still qualify for European competitions, because it would be great to see Chelsea on the European stage next season. Leave a like, share your thoughts about the match in the comments, and subscribe for even more football analysis content.